Reading news articles and selections require a deep analysis of what is written to determine accuracy of information. Every author has his or her views that can affect his or her discussion of an issue. Opinions that you as a reader must try to determine and understand. Even the most seemingly factual report, such as an article from Wikipedia, can carry an understated or implied judgment. Such judgments reflect an author's bias or preference for one side of an issue over another. So before we examine biases in selections and texts, we must first know the differences between a fact and opinion to better spot inclinations in writing. Well, a fact is something that has actually taken place or known to have existed, which can be validated with pieces of evidence, documentation, or research. Example given in our module are: the Philippines is an archipelago with 3 island groups, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. It is raining today. Our teacher in English is Mrs. Reyes. So these are facts because they actually took place or known to have existed, and they can be supported by evidence. Meanwhile, an opinion is defined as the personal view or judgment about a topic or person, which may or may not be supported by facts or positive knowledge. They are mostly based on assumptions, like the examples given in our module. The Philippines is a nation of heroes. I think it will rain today. Our teacher in English is strict. These are opinions because they are more of personal view or judgment about the topic or the person, and sometimes they may not be supported by facts or positive knowledge. Now that we know what facts and opinions are, let's talk about bias. Bias is evident in statements that reflect partiality, preference, or prejudice for or against a person, object, organization, or idea. Much of what you read and hear contains biases if the author favors one side over the other or judges someone without stating facts. He or she has bias. So when an author does not directly acknowledge his or her own bias, the reader, we, must look at the author's diction or the use of facts and opinions. We can ask ourselves of these 2 questions. First, does the author present more positive evidence for one side of an issue than the other? Second, does the author present more negative evidence for one side of an issue than the other? These are both clues that the author may be biased or against a particular side. Now, to be more specific in recognizing biases made by the author of an article or selection, here are the things we need to look out for. Number 1, facts and opinions. A while ago, we just discussed what facts and opinions are. Facts are what they are. They are the truth. But opinions can be based on feelings, emotions, or prejudice, which are not objective. Number 2, loaded words. Words that are charged with emotion, whether positive or negative. These can reveal an author's opinion about his or her own topic. Number 3, stereotypes. Stereotypes, if the author labels an entire group, the writing is probably biased. Number 4, vague language or generalizations. If the author is not using specific language, this could be an indicator of bias. And number 5, one-sided arguments. If the author only presents one side of an argument, his or her writing is probably biased. A biased author may not pay attention to facts or develop a logical argument to support his or her own opinions. As you read resources or materials, keep the following questions in mind. The first one is, what are the facts that the author has omitted? So, do we have facts that were omitted by the author? Number 2, what additional information is necessary? 3, what words create positive or negative impressions? Number 4, what impression would I have if different words had been used? So as we evaluate a source, consider whether the author's bias affects his or her presentation of facts and opinions. While reading, ask yourself whether the material results in one side of the issue being treated more favorably than the other. To explore an author's biases, you must ask whether or where his or her allegiances lie. Ask yourself if you need to look for a balancing viewpoint or approach. Take note that just because of an author has a strong bias does not mean that he or she has written something invalid. However, it is best if you recognize the biases held by the author to balance the information you acquire from the selection or article. So guys, I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge my grade 8 students who did very well, did outstanding in the first and second quarter. I would like to acknowledge from the section of Camia, Paolo Junicio, Sofia Jane Geronimo, Mianelli Gonzalez, and Jamie Inocencio. For Carnation, congratulations to Leia May Del Rosario, Cassandra Cortez, and Isabel Claro. For Dalia, congratulations to Lynch Radcliffe Palarca, Althea May Perote, Abby Ashley Pingol, and Sharina Pulintan. For Daisy, congratulations JV Makiling, James Alfonso Marcelo, Nian Janelle Lopez. And for Rosal, congratulations to Fredmore Cruz, Rochelle Clarice de la Cruz, Joanna Marifer Garcia, and Alexandra Rain Jimenez. Congratulations guys, and keep it up.